Hey guys, Fastest Pastor here. On this video we're going to be talking about quite a few things. Number one is the PPIHC's decision to cancel motorcycles for 2020. We're going to be talking about Dunne's mom's letter out to us on social media. And then lastly, talking about what lies ahead for us and some of the projects we've got going on active. So stay tuned. Hey guys, thanks a lot for tuning in here. So thankful that you guys could come to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this. So we've got a lot of projects going on. We've got a lot of things going on. But the first thing I want to do is just first read a letter that Dunne's mom put out on the social media a little while ago. And it really touched me. It also just kind of shows, obviously, how Carlin Dunne was such an amazing person is because of the amazing woman that raised him. And so this is from Romy. Very sweet lady. From what I can tell, I've never had a chance to meet her. I've reached out to her a few times. I'm sure she's busy. But it says, it's been 2 weeks now since my son left us. In my heart, I knew the instant that Carlin's time did not register in the fourth and final section in the race, I had lost my baby boy. Yes, at 36, he was still my baby boy. Dear Lord, take care of my boy. He is truly in your hands now. Every time I read this, it makes me emotional. From the moment of this crash, the entire Pikes Peak International Hill Climb officials handled the situation with my full support. Notice she says full support. So you haters out there, knock it off. They exhibited the utmost privacy, respect, and dignity and continue their steadfast support today. Media was instantly shut down and an outpouring of love and support was extended from the moment that I arrived in Colorado Springs. Megan Latham, Executive Director of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, Tom Osborne, Chairman of the Board of the Broadmoor Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, Paul and Becca Livingston, owners of Spider Grips, Jason Shinnock of Ducati, obviously is the CEO of North America, and Ducati Motor in Bologna, Italy, or however you say that, all took care of me, protected me, and more importantly, protected my son. I will be forever grateful. Carlin was beloved by those who knew him. He was everyone's friend, whether playing the role of little brother, big brother, son, or best friend. From a young age, I shared him with the world because I knew he was bigger than me, bigger than our mother-son bond. He fiercely pursued his passions with my full blessing and complete support. He held the security and confidence in knowing Mom will take care of the homestead. He was never reckless in action or deed. I trusted him implicitly. Many years ago, he evolved beyond me. The funny thing is, Carlin never thought of himself as a big deal. I did, but I was just the mom. He still did his own laundry, picked up Sonny's dog poop, and he always said please and thank you. Carlin loved the mountain. She challenged and enticed him, calling him back again and again. He gave her due respect. He was fully aware of the ability to take. With that being said, I know for a fact that he would not want the motorcycle program to end. He would want us to learn from this tragedy. He would encourage the official accident reconstruction authorities to do what they are trained to do, and for the race officials to implement additional safety precautions required. 3 days after Carlin's crash, the reporter asked me, "How do you feel about the race now?" To which I replied, "The same way I felt on June 29th. The day before the crash. All his life, I've known that losing him was a possibility. We went into this with eyes wide open. We were aware of the flip side of the sport. I was committed to him and his dreams. We went into this. He was doing what he loved. So who are we to take away other racers' dreams of racing? Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. In closing, I would like to give a massive worldwide thanks to all of Carlin's extended family and friends, near and far. Our family is humbled beyond words. All of your love, support, stories, videos, and pictures, without a doubt, have helped me and continue to help me. I am truly touched by your love and the ways in which you honored my son. Carlin would have been in awe of all the attention. He would have loved everyone coming together in harmony. He truly lives on and in and each and every one of us. Rest easy, baby boy. We got this. We've got Sonny. As you told your little sister many years ago, just keep pedaling. that's what we do. Just keep pedaling. I'll see you when I get there. So, what a mom, right? And so, we saw that. Obviously, the PPIHC, I've had a chance to reach out to Megan and some of the others. They're all heartbroken. I cannot underestimate, and I did going into it, how you become like family together at Pikes Peak when you're doing this race. It's incredible. And so I know they had a lot of decisions here to go over, to look at. And here's the thing. I know PPIHC, when we had the discussions in the spring, insurance dictates a lot of things. Insurance dictates spectator areas, it dictates some of the racing. And that's just because we have to have a race in which can carry insurance, otherwise there is no race. And so I do want to read to you guys what we saw on July 26th from Pikes Peak and what their release was. It says, 2020 Pikes Peak International Hill Climb will not include a motorcycle program, while analysis for long-term viability is conducted. So they're taking this seriously. And they're not saying it's the end of it forever. They need time. I know you're all like, well, how long of a year? Well, you don't get a lot of time on the mountain. There's times where you got to look at things and what you can do to help these racers out. So I'll read the press release. It says, the board of directors of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb recently convened to review the 2019 event. It was decided that in order to determine the long-term viability of the motorcycle program, there will be no program offered in 2020, so that race organizers can gather data and analytics to review more thoroughly the impact of their overall event in the absence of this program. Motorcycles have been a part of the PPIHC for 29 years, and their history in America's mountain dates back on the inaugural running in 1916, said Tom Osborne, chairman. That said, the motorcycle program hasn't been an annual event. They have run 41 out of the 97 years we've been racing on Pikes Peak. It's just time to take a hard look at every aspect of the race, including the motorcycle program, and determine whether or not the event may change, he added. PPIHC staff and board members will continue to track all metrics related to the annual race and make a final determination in late 2020 about whether or not the inclusion of a motorcycle program will take place in future years. So, a lot going on in our racing community involving Pikes Peak. How do I feel? So I think I got like 61 messages the day they released that. And for me, I've kind of been silent. I haven't had a chance to reach out to Megan or Randy or Dan or Daniel, partly because I just trust them. I fully know their hearts. I know how much that racing means to them. I know the hard work they've put in. I know how their hearts break for Carlin and his family. I know how our hearts feel. And so it's not an easy situation to be in for them, and they need to review everything. And so what are my thoughts? I've kicked around a lot of ideas. I can't say any of them are good ones, or the end-all solution. You want to look at what can help a racer when they go down in a motorcycle, in a race car. We've done a lot of things to make things safe, and I think that one Evo accident we all see on YouTube, you get to see that, right? You get to see that accident go down the hill. You're thinking, how can anybody survive? But all the safety equipment worked and they walked away, right? And so I think with that, we've got to keep in mind that you are talking two different things. I think of my buddy Rick Kay. He's got a two-man crew. He made up the hill, and I know, as we look at these events, the motorcyclists don't want to see it go away. I don't think the PPIHC wants to see it go away, but they also don't want to have to go through another year of heartbreak. And so it's looking at that, and I know there's probably insurance pressures and things like that. Some ideas, how I think. I would be sad if motorcycles went away for good. I knew that this time of analyzing and looking at metrics and things like that was probably going to come where there would be a stay on motorcycle competition. For us, we're still, Bernice is going to be back next year, and so that's if PPIHC lets us in again, which we're hoping they do. But what can you do? Well, it's tough to say. There's each motorcyclist has had its own injuries and its own issues. and what things can save them. We've all seen the instantaneous, the armadillo, the head pillow, all that stuff, where before you hit it all deploys. I don't know enough about all these accidents to know if that would be stuff that would help or not. Maybe if it would, that's something where, okay, motorcycle races, it's mandatory. You're going to have, the safety pillow, or whatever you call it, that airbag pillow for the helmet. You're going to wear the armadillo, which will go off. It's kind of an airbag for your body. These are all things we can talk about, I'm sure. But those people are culpable and capable at PPIHC, and I'm sure they're going to come up with what's best. And so I'm just praying that it works out for everybody, and that's my hope. So I think with that, to update you guys a little bit, Mary is pregnant. She's, as you all know, she's got the twins she's carrying. That's going well. And so we have projects. So here's the projects we got going on. We've got Bernice. She is being worked on. We've ordered all the parts we need. We're trying to get things together. I'm trying to work with potential sponsors. So if you're a potential sponsor looking at this, I would love to talk to you about our projects. So with that being said, Bernice is getting a few upgrades in her back end, which we'll share later. I think there might be a chance I have a potential teammate, which I'm excited about. Can't say a whole lot about. But I know Andy and the guys are working really hard on it. I met with Andy and Jameson and them the other day to work on some other projects. So we've got the Stang project, which is the 68 Mustang getting the EcoBoost upgrade. That's at Ford right now, getting the EcoBoost put in it. And we're working on that. In fact, I'm going to stop by today and take a look at that. We have the McLaren project. So some of you have asked, you have a McLaren? Yes, I have a McLaren. I've had a McLaren for a while. And my phone's going off. I do have a McLaren, and I bought that a little less than a year ago. It's kind of interesting how I did that. I took some money and I invested, and I told my wife I want to keep investing and trading until I've got enough to buy a McLaren, and that's what I did. And so that took me about 18 months. Y'all are going to ask, oh, how did you do that? I think a lot of it was just I found a good time in the market and was able to capitalize on that, because towards the end my formulas and stuff stopped working and the investment success went down. So I bailed because I had enough money for my McLaren. So that's what I did. I bought the McLaren and let it go. So we've got that wrapped now. It is up at Road America with Andy and Kelly Moss right now in Yokohama. Just want to thank Yokohama for all their support and continued support. The tires are amazing on that car. If you're at Road America this weekend, check it out. Along with that is Andy and the boys are working on the upgrades to the car. So we've got some upgrades to the car for performance, better launch sequence, a little bit more horsepower. And so I'm excited about what they're going to come up with on that. Along with that, with those two projects is we obviously have the tractor pulling, which we're going again this weekend. We're hoping to improve like we have been. We've improved 1 spot to 2 spots every week. This time I'm hoping just 1 more spot improvement. Went through the tractor this week, found some things that needed to just be tightened and maintained, nothing major, so the tractor's doing really good. Another project is Andy and I are working on a Porsche project. And so there's a Porsche project we're working on. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it, but I believe this is going to be a project in which we get to see Andy's visionary kind of take off again, and kind of my gearhead side of it get fulfilled. So I think a lot of you guys will like this when we kind of figure out the platform. So I'll keep you tuned in on what is going on there. In the meanwhile, I'm going to encourage you guys to go to Carlin Dunne's GoFundMe. Also check out the PPIHC. We've got a lot of merchandise out there in support of Carlin, money that goes to his family and his mom, and just to help them out through this whole time. So listen, we've got more coming. I'm going to have a ride along video yet again on Holy Smoker pulling tractor, so check it out. Also, as promised, I am working on the Raptor review of my new Raptor truck, so I'll get that out to you guys as well. Please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. God bless you guys. Love you guys.